The Lady Vols are as motivated as ever to prove that they belong, and that chance comes Saturday when they meet 1 seed Texas, and it's another opportunity for them to channel that underdog mentality. And where they are able to channel that resilience actually happens in those huddles during the games. We saw flashes of it against South Florida, but it was on full display against Ohio State. It's Tennessee's ability to stay in the moment and to respond when things aren't going their way. Their ability to do that against Ohio State is what brought them back to the top 25, what helped deliver them a top 5 win against UConn and has them dancing to the Sweet 16. Now, in those moments where there are breakdowns on the court, when they're on the wrong sides of runs, the player that led them mostly in that game against Ohio State was Z Spearman, and it wasn't always that way. In fact, when you go to the beginning of the season, Z Spearman was actually someone that needed to instill confidence in her. She needed to be led. But now when we look to the game against Ohio State, more times than not, she's leading those huddles. She is now turning into the person who can lead and reinstill confidence in her team.
I think that she's grown up a lot this season. Before, earlier in the season, if her shots weren't falling or, if she was getting fouled or if things weren't going her way, she would hang her head. But I think now it's a chin up, chest out mentality.
I'll also be in Birmingham for the Sweet 16, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the conversations. And it's honestly just a great way to support me so that I can get to Birmingham and cover the Lady Vols in the NCAA Tournament. When we keep our attention on Ohio State, it was evident from the very beginning that those moments where they were reinstilling confidence in each other were going to be crucial for the outcome of the game. And it started from the very beginning. By midpoint of the first quarter, Ohio State was leading 13-5. They just put together a 9-2 run. Then comes the media timeout, and who's out there leading the way? It's Z Spearman. She's walking out onto the court, and she is meeting every one of her teammates, and she's saying, we're good, we're good. That's the energy this team needs.
That's like my best friend on the team. She gives me energy all the time, confidence, all of that. She's really good at keeping her head as long as we all pouring into her, and we appreciate that. We appreciate having a player that's like unselfish like that, and just a good teammate. She brings energy every single day in practice, in the games, and no matter what's happening.
And Z tells me that's why she came to Tennessee. She says she wanted to find herself again. She wanted to be someone that could be a confident player. And she says she's done that here at Tennessee, so much to the point that she finds that instilling confidence in her teammates actually has the same effect on her.
Is that maybe what you were mostly looking for when you were in the transfer portal trying to find your next home?
Yeah, it was really just trying to find my next home and find me again also in the process. And I feel like I've done that since I've been here.
Yeah, so you feel like you found yourself?
Mm-hmm.
What's that journey been like for you?
It's been up and downs to it, but it's just like you can't get over no obstacles without the way you get over adversity. You become a better player, and you have better mindset, and you just provide better on the court.
Yeah, Kim talks a lot about mental toughness.
Yeah.
I guess for you, where do you find that confidence?
I find that confidence in what I can do for others. If I'm putting that confidence in somebody else, I'm gonna have the confidence back in myself because I know they're gonna pour into me as well. So it's just if we all have confidence in each other, we're all going to show up.
The rest of that interview is linked in the description below. Now, those huddles are vitally important to the makeup of this team, and it's not always Z Spearman leading the huddles. Maybe against Ohio State, she was the more vocal leader and the one that did try to take charge of those huddles more times than not. But what's impressive about the makeup of this team is that any one of the players could lead the huddle, and it's impressive the way that they are constantly pouring into each other to make sure that they are playing with confidence. And those huddles are more than just a schematic check-in. What happens in those brief moments at any point during the game when they can get together, they are now taking the opportunity. Kim says it's a small sample size, but it's the NCAA tournament, and that is now the only sample size that matters. And it's proving really crucial to the outcome of the games when they're able to check in with each other, make sure that they're playing as one. They weren't doing that towards the end of the season. In fact, those tight huddles are so important to the structure of this team that they highlight them in film.
We clipped those up, we showed those, they talked about them, they laughed about them, and hopefully it's something they can see themselves doing on film where we are in a tight huddle and maybe our opponent isn't in a huddle at all. And we freeze frame that and we show that, and that matters. Those add up to points.
Kim says those huddles highlight how much you need your sister, how much you need your teammate, and maybe it's unique to women's sports. But I don't think so. I think it's true for all sports. I mean, how many times have we heard Tennessee's Chaz Lanier talk about how his teammates are constantly pouring into him and how much the teammates are pouring confidence into Darlene Stone-Dubar? Those moments of reassurance and check-in, they matter, and it does add up to points. I mean, let's look at Ohio State again. After the Buckeyes went on a 20-2 run, there was a moment where the team quickly got together, they reset, made sure they were playing as one, and then they went on a 7-0 run of their own and never really looked back. It's that ability to do that and the sample size of the 2 NCAA tournament games that gives this team confidence that they can handle Texas.
It got very loud whenever they went on that 20-whatever run it was, and we immediately huddled. We didn't even think about what the call was, what the shot was, whatever was happening. We went to each other, and I feel like that's the proof that we are like just literally huddling as tight as we can so we can all hear each other and hear what we have to say and just know that we've got each other's backs.
Regardless of how the season ends for the Lady Vols, if they play with that same level of focus and effort, Kim says she'll be proud regardless of how the season ends.
I'm happy we're going to the Sweet 16. I'm proud of that, but I'm more proud of the way we looked on the floor. I'm incredibly proud of the way we looked on the floor our last 2 games. And despite what happens in our next game, I hope that those last 2 games can be something that we remember as a group of how hard we played and how we played together.
I'll be in Birmingham for the Sweet 16, but I'll also be in Indianapolis covering the men in their Sweet 16 appearance against Kentucky as well. So again, please make sure you subscribe to support me. It is a great way to ensure that I can continue to deliver the content that you all enjoy. I will hope to have more unique storytelling opportunities to deliver to you guys as well, like I did with PFL Jordan Bone and his connection with Chaz Lanier getting him to Rocky Top. If you missed that, that is also back on the homepage. I will talk to you guys later tomorrow.